Hey guys, welcome back to Fergie's Football Focus. We are back and it feels so good to be back. I am so excited for this episode. I have a ton planned for this one. We have so much to talk about. It's been over a month since the last time I uploaded live streams, but I am officially back and I will be back to posting multiple times a week with a live stream each week on this channel. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. Football Days, what's up my guy? Phoenix Football Compilations, how we doing? Man's Not Cold, what's up, bro? And then we have Ben the Football Kid and Josh as well. Shout out to y'all tuning in. We have some really good topics to talk about. Really quickly, let me read through some of these live chats here. What do you think of the Euros so far? Will there be any live streams? Ben, I'll get to that in just a minute. Man's Not Cold says, Aiden, do you remember me? I don't remember the specific username, but if you remind me of your specific name. Oh, Perkins. Aiden Perkins. Yes, I do remember you, mate. Appreciate you stopping by. Thomas Tuchel has joined us again, my guy Thomas. Sandro's here. Welcome, Sandro. As always, guys, smash the like button. Goal today for the return. 15 likes. Subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. And let's get into our first topic of this episode. We have the Euros, right? I haven't done any coverage on the Euros. I haven't been able to. I've barely watched, games because they're all being played when I have work. But I have gone back, watched quite a few now, watched some highlights, and we have the semifinals taking place, I believe, on Tuesday and Wednesday. We have Italy versus Spain on Tuesday, England versus Denmark on Wednesday. It's setting up for a very exciting final. I see people already talking about Scotland. We'll get to it. All right, I definitely have some things to talk about there. But let's talk about, first off, who do we think will win the Euros at this point? And then we'll maybe backtrack and look back on some of the previous matches. But for me, who I think will win the Euros, I'm looking at Italy versus Spain. First off, looking at that matchup. And I'm saying, man, Italy's squad, when you look through it, you have some really quality players in there. A player that's really impressed me has been Barella. But I think throughout the whole squad, you've got Jorginho, Verratti, and just Insigne and so much other quality in that Italy squad that I think, while Spain has found their way into the semifinals, I haven't been overly impressed with how Spain have played, whereas Italy have looked sensational each time they've played. So for me, I believe Italy will beat Spain. I think it'll be a close match, but I do think Italy gets it done probably 2-1. And then England versus Denmark. This is a very interesting one. Well, I thought England were going to crack under the pressure against Ukraine. Mate, and England showed up big time. Indusimo, welcome, mate. Let me know if that's the correct way to pronounce your name. I want to make sure I get it right. So let me know if that's correct. But I appreciate you stopping by, mate. And yeah, we're just talking about England versus Ukraine. And England really, I know Ukraine aren't a great squad, but England had this reputation of getting to matches against teams of like a lesser competition and struggling, not showing up for the match, not really showcasing their quality. Well, yesterday, it was an absolute masterclass. They turned up, they played well. There was attacking football. The big players, right? Luke Shaw was phenomenal. Shout out Sandro for bringing that up. But Kane, Sterling, Sancho, all were phenomenal. So really, I was surprised by that. I thought England, I thought they were going to struggle, and they showed up. So with England hitting form at the right time, it's going to be interesting against the Denmark side that has obviously rallied around Christian Eriksen and that terrible situation. Obviously, it turned out better considering that he obviously survived and is doing well now, but obviously very scary situation at the beginning of the tournament. They've rallied around that, and they've hit a good run of form. And don't get it twisted, they have some really quality players at Denmark side, and they've been playing some good football. So I think that game is going to be much tougher for England than the Ukraine game. But I do think, as much as I don't want England to advance, I do think they probably will advance. So I think we're looking at an Italy-England final for the Euros. And that's a very interesting one. Really quickly, before I predict who will win the Euros, let me read through the chat, see if there's any other messages here. It's pronounced Indimiso. Got it. Thank you, Football Days, for the insight there. Harish, my guy, welcome back, Harish. Appreciate you having you stop by, mate. Good to see you. We're just talking about the Euros right now. And we're talking about who we think will win it. So for me, I think we're looking at Italy-England final. But again, the thing with England, there's going to be so much pressure on them because there's such major favorites over even though Denmark are a good side, don't get it twisted, Denmark are a good side. England have so much pressure on them to beat a side like Denmark, and we've seen England fold under the pressure. But I do think we're looking at Italy-England. For me, personally, I think Italy are underrated side. I think they are not anymore, but going into the tournament, were underrated. I underrated them myself. Let me be clear about that. Let me be clear about this, guys. I wasn't the guy before the tournament saying, oh, Italy could win this thing. I was saying, you know what, I don't really fancy Italy. So I've got to go back on that and now look at the Italy squad that I've seen play and be like, yo, I was completely wrong about that. I missed the mark on that. I'll take the fall for that one. So for me, I believe Italy will win it. I think it'll be a tightly contested match. But I think the thing with Italy is I think Italy will control the midfield against England with the quality. They have the Verratti, the Jorginho. I think they'll be able to defeat England. So yeah, that's kind of my prediction. And that one, I think Italy's backline as well, Chiellini, been phenomenal. So for me, England will win the Euros. That's all I'm going to say. That is my prediction for it. Guys, down below in the live chat. Down below in the live chat, lads. Let me know who you think will win the Euros. We have 4 teams left. Italy, Spain, England, and Denmark. I'd love to hear you guys' prediction down below. Let me read this here. Aiden, my thoughts are since Denmark have too much motivation, they will go through the final. That's a good point, right? Form is a real thing in football. I think it's often underrated by people. And when you have good form, good momentum, and are playing good football and have nothing to lose, that can really carry you, especially in these knockout tournaments. So, football days, I respect that opinion. I just do think England have a little too much quality and have shown it, right? It's not like England haven't played well throughout the tournament. I think England only have 1 draw, and the rest of the matches they've all won. So yeah, I've been impressed. The win against Germany was impressive for England. Serenin says, nah. My guy Serenin is here. He says, I'm not having that final. Serenin, well, I'm not having that, mate, because I think I got it. I think I got it down, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll put up a poll on Instagram and see who agrees, who disagrees, Serenin. But we'll check it out, my guy. It's great having you back, though. Guys, thank you for everyone tuning in. It's so great to be back. I'm going to be uploading again consistently. There was some personal stuff at the beginning of June that kind of stopped me from uploading. And then also, I had a summer class plus a job. So I've been super busy just trying to get through 40 hours a week of work plus school. But now I finished school, still working, but now I got some time to upload. So I'm super happy to be back. I love doing YouTube. And yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Just know that, okay? Even though I took a little break. But let's keep going through here. Sandra said, I was the guy who said Italy will win before the Euros. Hope my prediction will be right. Yes, guys, I've got to give major credit to Sandro for that. Shout out to him for that. He was the one really saying Italy from the beginning. And I think that was partially he's an Italy fan, but also his knowledge of the Italian national team, knowing the quality they had. I have to say, I don't watch enough Serie A, and I know a lot of the Italian players on the national team do play in Serie A. Others don't, but I think that was a really good take from him. He said Spinazzola's injured, was the best player against Belgium. Yes, I believe he tore his Achilles, which is a very nasty injury. That could take a very long time, so, just wishing him a speedy recovery. Raymond, my guy, he says, hi, Aiden, long time no see, mate. Raymond, make sure you stick around because after we go through a little bit more Euros talk, a little Copa America talk, then we're going to get into some Manchester United stuff. And Raymond, just beware, on the second channel, or I guess it's the first channel now, new videos coming about Manchester United, lots of content I had planned prior to my little break, I will now be completed. So, let's see what others are saying here. Football Days goes Italy, Denmark. Harish goes England to beat Denmark and then beat Italy. Okay. We've got a big England fan here in Harish who believes they'll get it done. Personally, I have to say I don't really want to see England win it. But I have to give them credit where it's due. They've played quite well so far. Let's see what others are saying here. I said France-Portugal final. You see, I know a lot of football. Mate, I think we all did. Bro, that was my next. That's a perfect segue because the next topic I've written down on my little paper here, lads, my little paper here, is group of death / group of disappointment. That's what it was. It wasn't the group of death. It was the group of disappointment. Because, mate, all these teams, France, Portugal, I mean, Germany to a lesser extent, but France, Portugal especially, really flopped. I mean, it was extremely disappointing. It wasn't even like just in the. I mean, obviously they get knocked out in the round of 16, but it was more so even the group itself in the group stage matches. I wasn't impressed by it, right? Like, it was just a bit dodgy, you know. Was Turkey in that group as well, if I remember correctly? Maybe I'm wrong, but we also should talk about that. Kep and his assistant, Thomas Tuchel. What's up, mate? Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah. But no, I have to say this, mate, is Portugal, France, disappointing, right? Hungary, that's correct. My apologies, Hungary. Portugal, France, just disappointing, right? I mean, I think it shows that knockout tournaments are so much up in the air. I think the biggest thing for me was, right, with France, it just sometimes discipline, right? If you lack discipline, no matter, you have all these big names, you have all these attacking players. But if you lack discipline, you had France, right, up 3-1 going into the 80th minute of the match, conceding twice in the last 10 minutes of the match. Then it goes to penalties, and of course they lose. That's my biggest issue with it. I think that's the biggest issue there is lack of discipline. I think, speaking of Paul Pogba, I thought he was excellent in the tournament from the perspective of the way he was moving the ball, dropping deep. Some of the goals he scored, the shots, the one against Switzerland, phenomenal. But the defensive discipline late in the match to recognize, maybe I need to sit a little deeper. Maybe I need to be, more focused on the defensive side of the game, I think you could say was a problem. Veron is so bad, please buy him. I wouldn't say he's so bad, but what we have seen is Veron is prone to mistake. But I think if you pair Veron with Harry Maguire, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but I think if we pair those two, that could be a good combo. That's all I'm saying. Sir Renan, before you just start, is Sancho trash too, Sir Renan? I bet Sir Renan thinks every United signing is trash. I bet Sir Renan will go on here after watching England play yesterday and Sancho just dribble through the whole Ukraine national team. And Sir Renan will go, oh mate, he's trash. He's trash. Sir Renan says that will be prime content. Sir Renan knows how he can get me going, like how he can get me excited or frustrated. So he's going after it. Sir Renan hates Sancho and Haaland. Sir Renan hates whoever's not in a Man City jersey or an Ajax jersey. I'll say that. What's up? Let me see if I get it right. Nedusimo. I think that's correct. Appreciate you stopping by, mate. Guys, if you are just tuning in, smash the like button. Goal today, 15 likes on the stream. Subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. My guy Yusuf is here. Shout out, Yusuf. Appreciate you stopping by. Yusuf, I saw something very interesting. You said, did you hear about the internal issues in France's team? Not particularly. Could you kind of expand on what you mean by that? Because I've heard some stuff, but I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. So feel free to expand on that. And I'm very interested by it. Let's see what others are saying here. About Paul Pogba, just a quick update. I know this is a little off topic, but about Paul Pogba, there's been some rumors that he's in talks maybe with PSG now, but nothing really official unless Fabrizio Romano has tweeted in the last 2 hours about Paul Pogba. I haven't seen anything that is really strong yet, but there is the potential he goes out the door. I'm taking a look here, lads, on Twitter. Any big news here? My timeline is just absolutely destroyed with people talking about England, and I'm kind of over it, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's see. Anyways, moving forward, let's see what others are saying here. Bruno overrated. All right, I'll tackle that at the end. Okay, I want to go through some of our more serious topics. I'm not gonna get baited into that. You get me? Maguire has turned into a quality player. Glad to see he's finally getting recognized for that. Ryan, I think the thing with Maguire. We're going to get into Santo stuff really quickly. We got to talk a little bit about the Euros to finish it up, and then Copa America, but then we're into Jadon Sancho, okay? So, thoughts on Maguire. I think Maguire's always been a quality player, Ryan, but it's the price tag that's manipulated people's mind because he was so expensive, right? He was so expensive, and he's not worth that £80 million fee. We'll be real about it. But that doesn't mean he's still not one of the best center backs in the Premier League and England's best center back right now. Like, I think Maguire adds that. Watching England play yesterday, they felt so comfortable at the back, and that was because of Maguire's presence. So good to see that you noticed that as well, Ryan. My Scottish teachers said we wouldn't get past round of 16. Now we in the semifinals. Congratulations, Aiden Perkins. Shout out to you, mate. Serenin says, wasn't Mbappe jealous of Griezmann's influence? I'm not sure exactly about that. I know that's the thing with, and we'll talk about it in a little bit when we talk about PSG, but there's always drama surrounding some of these players, and that obviously they're quality and you'll take them no matter what, but that drama can be so toxic. That is the case. I feel like we're speculating a little bit. Next time I need to go through it. Yes, I saw what Yusuf is talking about. Rabiot's mom arguing with Pogba's family and saying to Mbappe's dad that his son is arrogant, and Mbappe is not happy that Griezmann has a lot of influence. So specifically, I feel like the place that is really out of pocket is Rabiot's mom. Like, that's not really her place to be telling other parents about their children like that, especially when they're grown. They're grown. I feel like that's just so out of pocket. So I don't like the way she approached that situation whatsoever. Like that, if I was a player, if I was Rabiot, I'd be very embarrassed by that kind of behavior. Like, that's not her place to say that. That's something that people feel in the locker room, then that needs to be said. Rabiot should bring it up. But his mom saying that's a bit dodgy, All right. I'm going to be moving forward now to the final Euros topic, and that is Scotland. You guys know I'm a Scotland supporter. I was only able to watch one game live because of my work schedule, but I woke up 6 a.m. to watch Scotland versus the Czech Republic. And man, was that a disappointment, mate. Man, was that a disappointment. Oh my gosh. You know what? The way I viewed it going into this tournament was, if Scotland win against the Czech Republic, who they had beaten twice in the past year, and then get a point against England in a grudge match where they would show up for sure, they wouldn't even need to beat Croatia to advance. Like, I thought they would advance in the third position of the group, getting 4 points. That's the way I saw it. Well, they had an absolute stinker against the Czech Republic. All right. The way Scotland lined up, I had so many problems with. Billy Gilmore on the bench, the man of the match against England. Patterson not starting either. O'Donnell getting the start over him as well. And Che Adams not even starting. I had so many problems with that 11. I think Clark was honestly way too cautious in that first game, and that cost them, right? If Scotland had beaten the Czech Republic, gotten the point against England, they would have been the team to advance. We could have seen Scotland, right? A Scotland team that drew the Netherlands in the friendlies leading up to it. We could have seen a Scotland team maybe make the quarterfinals, but no. They bottled it in an embarrassing fashion against the Czech Republic with the goalkeeping from Marshall honestly was shocking. I don't know if you guys have seen the freeze frame. Him caught near the halfway line getting chipped by obviously Schick, who had a phenomenal tournament, but still, mate, that was awful. It was really embarrassing and super frustrating. And man, that hurt, bro. That game hurt. Like, that was the one I think every Scotland fan, Yusuf will know, had that one circled saying, we need to win this game to advance. But we can win this game to advance. Again, Scotland had beaten the Czech Republic twice in the past year, and then failed to do it on the big stage. That hurt. Then the match against England. We see, Steve Clark maybe learn from some of his mistakes. He starts Gilmore in that match. Adams gets the start as well. Tierney's back healthy. That's also something I didn't mention. Scotland's luck in this tournament was not good. Tierney injured for the first match. He was a key player for them. Obviously, I think you could argue one of, if not their best player. That was just like, that hurt. But then you get Tierney back. Gilmore's playing. Adams starts. And then Scotland looks so good against England. And that, I feel like if you had played that Scotland side against that Czech Republic side, I think Scotland would have won. But he didn't do that. They go against Croatia. Not able to get it done against a decent but not phenomenal Croatia side. I think at that point, just a little too exposed defensively. Croatia really needed to win that match as well. And it was a Modric masterclass. And also, Gilmore tested positive too, who I think would have been a vital player for them in the midfield. Because, right, without Ryan Jack, Scotland don't really have, aside from Gilmore, they don't have a really good, calm player on the ball who can keep possession. Don't get me wrong. John Mcginn was phenomenal in those matches. throughout the entire Euros, but he's more of an attacking-minded player, likes to dribble, likes to play that ball into the final third, is creative. He's not really just someone that's really smooth and calm and on the ball in the same way Gilmore was, or someone with a more defensive mindset like Ryan Jack. McTominay in the midfield for me, just not it. I think even for United, I think they should try and convert him to a center back because, when he plays for Scotland, he just looks like an average player. And I think the only reason why he's really excelled at United is because his role is just being kind of roughhousing and whatnot, and playing next to quality like Pogba and Bruno kind of elevates him. But I think that is enough on Scotland, guys. My take on it, disappointed, really hurts. But overall, really proud of the guys. I think they put in a good performance apart from the Czech Republic game. And it was just phenomenal getting to experience watching Scotland in a major tournament. I don't know if you guys seen, the crowd at Hampden. It was buzzing. It was when they sang "O Flower of Scotland," when they were singing some of those songs, it was phenomenal. So it was a really good experience, and I was so happy to watch it. But that is enough for my Scotland rant. I think that's enough for our Euros talk. Guys, I appreciate everyone who's tuned in so far. I'm going to read through the chat before we transition to our next topic. If you guys are enjoying the live stream this far, smash the like button. I think we spent 25 minutes on the Euros, so I think that's plenty. And we'll move into Copa America next after I read this real quick. Yusuf says, I've seen the Croatian team coach in Glasgow. Very cool, Yusuf. Very, very cool. Football Days laughing at Scotland. Hey, mate, what's that about, mate? What's that about? Bro, at least Scotland got a point against England. That's worth more for Scotland than the World Cup. Mate, see, that I think that's a bad... Right, I understand. Obviously, it was a good performance against England. I'm very happy about that. But I think that's a bad mindset to have, right? Scotland should have advanced. I think if we're being harsh, they should have advanced. And they weren't able to get it done. Right? They did the groundwork against England. But it was against the Czech Republic, they should have won that match, in my opinion. But drawing Netherlands is not something to be proud of. But what I'm saying, if Scotland had finished third in the group, like the Czech Republic did, we would have played the Netherlands. And that's a winnable match, is what I was saying more so. Let's see. Here. Schick is greater than Kane. Okay. He was phenomenal, though. And that's interesting. Do you guys think he obviously plays for, I believe, Leverkusen right now? The Bundesliga correspondent, Santo, can correct me if that's incorrect. Correct me if that's incorrect. Correct me if I'm wrong. But do you think he's a player that can make a move to the Premier League? He seems someone who would fit that style. Very clinical, good he's just a great striker. I was very impressed by him. The first goal he scored against Scotland, not even the one from deep, but the header was phenomenal. I was really impressed by him. I see we'll do Kane, Lewandowski at the end. I see there's a lot of debate about that. For me, I'm Lewandowski all the way. But anyways, apparently Arsene Wenger is trying to get the Netherlands coaching job. That could be a great fit. I'd love to get Serenen's take on that. But Yusuf, I love that. I love the sound of that. Writing lies in the chat can cause 5-minute timeouts. Says Sandro. Yep, Sandro is a moderator. That would be funny, but he said just kidding. Let's see what others have to say. Sandro says gonna have dinner. See you later. Have a good one, Sandro. Appreciate you stopping by, my man. Great being able to talk with you a little bit. Let's see what others are saying here. I'm just going through the chat quickly. So, Yusuf saying, I think Frank de Boer should be the Scotland national team coach. I don't know about that, mate. I mean, there's a quality Dutch side that I think was wasted by some of the tactics. What I have to say, though, is that Steve Clark is a good manager. I just wish he's not risky enough for me. I think in past years, he would have been a good fit for Scotland, but with the quality, I'm not bashing him by any means. I think Scotland should keep him. I don't know if they'd be able to get anyone better, but I think with the quality Scotland are having now, you need someone who's willing to take those risks and play as a more attacking side. There's matches, right, against England where you should play more defensive, but against the Czech Republic, a side of a similar quality, you should be looking to go forward more. All right, let's move forward to our next topic, the Copa America. I'm very curious in the chat, guys. Who here has even watched the Copa America? Because I know a lot of our audience is based in Europe. or, so I'm curious to see who's watched it. I haven't watched much. I've seen some highlights. I've read a lot about it. Again, it kind of conflicts with my schedule, but I've watched quite a bit. Yes, guys, make sure you are staying hydrated. Shout out my guy, Yusuf. But Copa America semifinals line up like this. You have Brazil versus Peru, Colombia versus Argentina. So my main talking point here is kind of who will win. I think it's going to be very interesting to see. Two things. Messi has been magical, guys. 4 goals, 4 assists in like 5 matches. It's ridiculous. I think the next closest player is Neymar with 2 goals, 2 assists. Like, he's been ridiculous. I don't know. Did anyone see his free kick against, I believe it was Ecuador, like last night? It was ridiculous, mate. Upper 90. He also put his teammate on a platter. Like, Messi has been phenomenal. I've really been impressed by him. But that said, you have a Brazil side, in my opinion, that overall are much stronger. If you look through the Brazil 11, and even on their bench, bro, they've got some depth. I want to pull this up here just to like emphasize it here. But let me pull up Brazil's recent starting 11. I was looking through that side. You got guys like Douglas Luiz from Villa sitting on the bench. Like, Brazil are very, very good right now. So it comes down to this interesting scenario, in my opinion, where I think Argentina will advance against Colombia. I think Brazil will advance against Peru, and that sets up for an interesting Brazil-Argentina final. And it's why it's even more interesting than normal, right? Is because you have Messi, who has yet to win a major tournament with Argentina in phenomenal form, versus a very quality Brazil side. I mean, you got Ederson, Danilo, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Casemiro, Fred, Jesus, Firmino, Richarlison, Neymar. You're talking Alisson on the bench. You got Fabinho. You've got Douglas Luiz, as I mentioned. Like, there's a lot of quality within this Brazilian team. So for me, I think, as much as you guys know, I think Messi is the Barcelona. Let me take one step back. Argentina are a side that have done very well so far. Messi's been phenomenal. But Brazil dominated in the group stage. Brazil's group was stacked. They had both Peru and Colombia, the 2 other teams in the semifinals, in their group. And they dominated that group. Whereas Argentina were in a weaker group. They dominated, but they haven't really been tested yet. And I think Peru and Colombia are those teams that would really test them. So for me, I think, considering, despite Messi's magic, and you guys know how much I rate Messi, I think he's the greatest player of all time, I don't think that'll be enough for Argentina. Not saying the Argentinian team overall is that bad, but I think there's some questions defensively. It's definitely not as strong as the Brazil side. And I think ultimately with football, considering the quality of Brazil and when teams have a better 11 outright, I think it's very hard to beat them. But we'll see if Messi can pull off some magic. But my prediction is Brazil will win the Copa America against Argentina in the finals. Guys, I'd love to get your thoughts down below in the live chat. Who you think will win the Copa America? I wouldn't be mad at anyone who thinks that Argentina will win it because of Messi's recent form. I mean, he has been phenomenal. But y'all let me know down below in the live chat. I thought, even though we're very, maybe, the chat is maybe very Euro-focused, Eurocentric, I thought it was important to bring up the Copa America because it is a major tournament that is happening right now with some of football's biggest names, obviously, like Messi, like Neymar, right? So I think it'll be Brazil for me. We see football days goes, Argentina will win. And mate, I don't hold anything against you for that. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me necessarily, but I think that would be a testament to Messi. If he could, if Messi, here's the thing: if Messi could win the Copa America against Brazil with the Brazilian squad they currently have, mate, I mean that would be pretty legendary. Stratton says Argentina's defense has gotten better too. Yes. No, Argentina are an improved side from a few years ago. What I'm saying though, comparatively to Brazil, right? You have a Brazil side with Thiago Silva and Marquinhos at center back, bro. We're talking about Champions League winner Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, who's one of the best center backs in the world right now. Bro, they're different. Casemiro as a CDM, bro, Brazil are buttoned up defensively, and they have attacking talent. Like, I just think they're clear. But who knows? If you get in a match with Messi in a one-off game, bro, Messi can take over. You know, he could go score 2-3 goals. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope so. I hope Messi as well. I would love to see that. But I think, if I'm being honest with myself, I think it's going to be Brazil. Anyways, guys, moving forward to our next topic. This is one I haven't gotten to talk about yet, but I am very excited to talk about, and it is Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has joined Manchester United for a €90 million fee from Borussia Dortmund. This is something that's been rumored for so long now. Last summer, we thought it was going to get done. It didn't get done, but they've now taken them a year, but it's official. Jadon Sancho will join Manchester United. And how, as a Manchester United fan, how exciting is this, mate? I mean, they got it for a decent fee. I think that's, I think it's good United didn't pay more than that. Serenin already saying you overpaid. Mate, you can't say we've overpaid until you've seen him play for United. Like, you can't say that yet, mate. You cannot say that. You can't say we've overpaid until he's actually played, because you don't know. At this point, he could be phenomenal or he could struggle, right? Like, we can't say that. Just not as good as everyone thinks. Bro, you're hating right now, Serenin. Yo, guys, can we get out the salt emojis in the chat, man? There is some salt. There is some salt being poured here. I need to go get some food right now with all this salt, with all this free salt lying around. Man, Serenin, you haven't even seen him play at United yet. How can we say it yet? How can we say it? I think it was an appropriate fee. I'm happy with the amount of money they played. It's 90 million euros, so that's around, I believe, 78 million pounds. That's not. I don't think that's crazy, bro. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's reasonable. I'm very happy with the move. United needed attacking depth. We were lacking it. We've got Rashford. We've got Greenwood, of course. We've got Cavani returning. That's a great front three. But if you look beyond that, Martial, who struggled, Dan James, who's really just not cutting it, right? Like, I think Sancho was a must. Now you've got, like, in Rashford, Cavani, and, of course, Greenwood, and now Sancho. Now you've got 4 really quality players. So if there is, and then you've got Martial, who's probably your backup option now, 5th option. That's a really good attacking side. So I'm very happy with it. I think it's phenomenal. We're looking at Sharon, welcome. Sharon says, yeah, it is reasonable. Sharon, happy to hear that. And Sharon, if you are new to the channel, mate, I appreciate you stopping by. Smash the like button, subscribe if you are new. This is the place to be. We do weekly episodes here. This is episode 3 of Fergie's Football Focus. For me, Jadon Sancho, I think, will fit very well into this Manchester United side. This now also allows the opportunity. You'll have Rashford playing on his best on the left. You've got now, you got Sancho can play on the right. And then with Cavani only 1 year left on his contract, him and Greenwood can fight for that starting spot up top. And then Greenwood can kind of grow into that number 9 position where he's most comfortable, where he believes is his best position as well. So I think that's very interesting. So Greenwood, right, Cavani will leave in a year, and then Greenwood will hopefully by that time be developed into Manchester United's number 9 moving forward. And we've got our attack set for years. Like, we've got Rashford, 24? Greenwood, who's 19, going to turn 20 in October. And then Sancho, who I believe is 20 or 21 years old, bro. And these are all top players. I think United's attack is set for the next 10 years now, in my opinion. So, mate, that's exciting stuff. That is exciting stuff. I love the salt emojis down below in the chat, guys. Let's see what others are saying here. Sean says, James has been pretty good in the Euros. Yeah, but, mate, he's not cutting it for United. I mean, if we let's be honest, guys. The Euros have been very entertaining, and there is good quality there for sure. But some of the defensive performances haven't been great. Like, some of these defenses aren't great. A lot of these defenses aren't necessarily Premier League level. So let's be clear about that. I think James will probably end up on loan somewhere. It wouldn't surprise me, because otherwise he probably won't touch the pitch. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Lingard as well. Like, will Lingard come back to United? I mean, with his form, it's interesting. I don't know if Solskjaer would still use him, but it is interesting for sure. But the thing with it, right, with Lingard is like, here's something that I think is something I didn't plan to talk about, but still interesting, right? We have the likes of Bruno Fernandes, who we've seen he struggled he struggled towards the end. If I'm being honest, you guys know I'm the biggest Bruno fan. He did not play great towards the end of the season. In the Euros, he struggled even more. I think we're dealing with a player with some very tired legs, and that's probably because Solskjaer basically played him in every match possible. Like, he was playing him in the cup matches. He played pretty much every match possible. I think his legs are just absolutely knackered. Could you bring in a player like Lingard? I mean, I'm not saying Lingard would play in the Champions League or a lot of the Premier League matches, but like there could be Premier League matches available for Lingard if Solskjaer is smart about it. And definitely the cup matches. Like, could he be that backup for Bruno Fernandes? And United just play Bruno a little less. But then there's the flip side of that where whenever Bruno played, United kind of struggled. So it's a very interesting scenario. What do you guys think? Down below in the chat, let me know. Should United bring back Lingard and keep him, or should they look to sell him, or maybe a swap deal? Y'all let me know down below in the chat. I'm very curious. All right. Moving forward now, guys, to our next Manchester United topic. This is our last Manchester United topic, then they'll move on. But United, according to Fabrizio Romano, this was reported yesterday, are in talks with Real Madrid about Veron. And he said it would not be a quick deal, but Veron is interested in something new, but Madrid wanted to keep him, so it's a very interesting scenario. And I think this reminds me a lot of like the Santo deal last year, like one of these ones that could really kind of move forward and stick around to the end, right? It could stick around till the end. But here's my take on it, right? Is I think if Manchester United want to get this deal done, they can't get it done. They just got to be aggressive, right? There's two things you got to do here. Veron is interested in coming to United, but you've got to really prove it to him, right? Now that he's shown his interest, now you got to prove your interest by being aggressive in these talks with Real Madrid. I think this is a must sign in my opinion, right? We can't do Lindelof Maguire for another season. Veron Maguire center back pairing would be arguably one of the best in the Premier League. So I think you need to sign Rafael Veron. And United need to be aggressive in doing so to prove to him that they really want him and in showing his interest back. So in my opinion, United got to get this done. I know it's not going to be quick, but can we be aggressive with it so it does get done this summer and it doesn't move forward? Because obviously Veron right now is in a place where I think, he's not the perfect center back. Like, he has had some, he's no Virgil van Dijk, let's be clear about that. He has had some issues with regards to decision making, in my opinion, but I think if you pair him, like, you could argue, I think it's fair to say Veron is rated higher than Maguire by most people. So you would have, Maguire, who's already a very solid center back, with someone even better than him, who has some speed. I think their skill sets complement each other very nicely. Like, I think it's the perfect fit. So in my opinion, Manchester United need to get this done, but this is something we'll be covering more in weeks to come. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but this is the move United need to make, in my opinion. Anyways, any thoughts on Veron, guys? Anything else? Let's see what others are saying here. I think they should keep him. So that's back to the Dan James thing. Interesting. Sharon, how come? I'm very curious. If you could expand on that, I'd love to know. But yeah, guys, let me know in the chat your thoughts on Rafael Veron to Manchester United. You can tell me what your thoughts are, but also do you think it will happen? Who do you think is the best player at Manchester United? I'll answer this quickly. Aiden Perkins. I think Bruno Fernandes has been the best player at Manchester United, no doubt, in the past few years. I think Rashford, Pogba are also there in that conversation as well. Maguire has shown his worth more recently, right? With regards to, we saw how United looked at the end of the season when Maguire is not playing. So he's a very valuable player. I wouldn't quite put him there, but he's very important to Manchester United, Harry Maguire. He could communicate better with Paul Pogba. That would be interesting as well, but the thing is, will Pogba stay? That's something we're actually about to jump into next, and I think that's a perfect segue. Let me, Deli20, I appreciate you stopping by, mate. It's great to hear from you. It's been a while. With Veron, United will become counter merchants. Okay, Serenin. Guys, can we get some more salt in the chat? I don't think Serenin has gotten his daily dose of salt yet because he's still spewing. He's still spewing out here. My guy. It's great to have you back, Serenin. So good to be talking to you all again. But yeah, this transitions great into my next topic, which is PSG are really making a push for the Champions League final And when I say push for the Champions League final, I mean by making transfers that are going to make them very competitive next season. They've extended Neymar's contract. That's huge. They've signed Wijnaldum on a free transfer, which is phenomenal. And now they've also are going to, in the next 15 days, reportedly, sign, Sergio Ramos on a free, Hakimi for roughly 70 million, and Donnarumma on a free as well. That's some great business there from PSG. This is a PSG team that want to compete and win Champions Leagues. And they've fallen short, obviously losing in the final to a very good Bayern Munich side. Losing to Man City in the semifinals against a very good City side, but ultimately they were outclassed against Manchester City. I think the thing with PSG, regardless of these signings, I think these are great signings. You got a bona fide winner in Sergio Ramos, right? Who is a leader in the locker room. I think the way we'll see. I think Ramos brings a lot. I think he could bring a lot out of Mbappe and Neymar. Starting says they may lose Mbappe. From what I've read, PSG have told Mbappe to stick around, and I think by putting their money where their mouth is, by signing, obviously extending Neymar and signing some of the quality that they have signed, I think Mbappe will give them one more year. I think Mbappe will stay this year, and then probably, depending on whether or not they win the Champions League, if they don't win it, I think he'll leave the next year. But I believe they will keep Mbappe one more season. That's my belief. Y'all let me know in the chat what you think. But I think the issue with PSG so far is you have so much quality. But it's built. It's built. You had this. Think about it this way. It's this beautiful house. It's this beautiful, beautiful house. Like one of the nicest houses in the world. 50 million. But the foundation is not very strong. It's a weak foundation. And what I mean by that is, partially, I think, we're not in the locker room from day to day, but what we read into, it's partially the personalities. It's partially also just the injuries, too, right? Like, when I say weak foundation, I'm talking about, like, Neymar's ankles, bro. Like, he's constantly getting injured. You've got Mbappe, who's dealt with some injuries. And also just their personalities. Like, it seems the locker room at PSG has seemed toxic at times. Like, let's just be honest. We'll be honest about it. So these are all great signings, but it's still PSG are because of the superstars they have. There a lot of egos. Exactly, Yusuf. Because of the superstars they have, it's still very much up in the air. But these are phenomenal signings. I think Ramos. When we talk about being a kind of a tough foundation, I think Ramos can help to solve that solution. Ramos doesn't strike me as the guy that's going to be... I know he's another ego, but he strikes me as the guy that's going to hold people accountable. And it'll be like... I think he's a good fit alongside superstars like Neymar and Mbappe. Like, I think he's a good balance. Do you know what I mean? He strikes me as a very... Obviously, he's kind of like them in the regards if he wants to be a pretty boy. Like, he likes the attention, I think, but... I don't know. He seems a little more grounded, and he knows how to win. He knows how to, and not that Neymar doesn't, or not that Mbappe doesn't, but when it comes to winning Champions Leagues, Sergio Ramos is that guy. So, and he's had the whole summer. He wasn't picked up by Spain. He's had the whole summer to focus on getting fit and being in the best shape of his career. I think that for me, Hakimi's a great signing in terms of quality. Donnarumma's a phenomenal signing as well, in regards to a young goalkeeper. But for me, Wijnaldum's good as well. But Ramos, I think, could be the one that... I think Ramos is the one that could really help to change things at PSG and get them to the Champions League final and win it potentially. But there's still a lot of, summer transfer window left for other teams to make these big moves. And you still have to, get Neymar there fit and healthy and mentally tuned in. Whenever Neymar and Mbappe plays, there's no doubt of their quality. It's just, are they healthy, right? That's part of the issue. So that's kind of my take on it. I think, maybe Mbappe will get a bit of obviously getting knocked out by Switzerland, missing the penalty. Maybe Mbappe will get a bit of a little wake-up call maybe, perhaps. But that's my take on it. I think PSG doing some phenomenal business. And I just want to say, right, PSG are obviously a side that get a lot of shit because of oil money and whatnot, right? Which is fair, which is totally fair, don't get me wrong. But I just have to say their business this window has been very smart, right? Obviously, they're shelling out tons of money. Let me be clear here. these are free transfers, but let's be like Neymar's getting paid tons on his contract. Same with Wijnaldum, same with Donnarumma, same with Ramos, same with like they're all getting paid a ton of money. So, but with regards to getting them on free transfers, that is quite smart business, and PSG have done a decent job of that. So I'll give them credit there. But again, they're paying these guys tons. Like let's be clear, Wijnaldum, right? Liverpool don't want to pay those contracts. So, all right. And they fix it by buying more superstars, says Seren. And that's a good point, right? They have egos, and they fuel that with even more egos. It's an interesting strategy. We'll see what happens. Since PSG has signed these good players, Mbappe will want to stay because compared to Real Madrid, Real is in transition phase. But like you said, if PSG fail to win anything, he will leave to Real. Deli 20, that's exactly how I see it, mate. I agree with you 100%. I think he'll stick around one more year because PSG has showed they're about the business. And then, depending on how this next year goes, I think he'll likely end up at Madrid the following year. Ramos can go to Arsenal, Aiden. No, it's been confirmed he's going to go to PSG. He could. I mean, Messi could go to, I don't know, Falkirk in Scotland, but that's not going to happen, right? So, Deli20 said he would also be the star of Real if he moves to Spain. He would be, and I think, Real Madrid is like, PSG is a top club, but like Real Madrid has a different. Barcelona and Real Madrid are just two like different level of clubs with regards to their aura and everything around them. They're just, they are the top of football. Even if right now they aren't, do you know what I mean? Like just historically. Yusuf says PSG have two good goalkeepers in Navas and Donnarumma. Yeah, well, I think Navas is getting up there in age, so Donnarumma is that move for the future, is what I think they're doing there, Yusuf. But that's a great point, mate. And yeah, their depth. I think PSG moving smart this window. That's kind of my final take on that. Moving forward, I've got two more planned topics. Then we'll maybe do a bit of Q&A, and then we'll call it a day. And then I got to work on my next couple of videos coming up on the other channel, which I will be back uploading on. I'm thinking about rebranding, but we'll talk about that at the end. Moving forward to our next topic, guys. Messi's contract with Barcelona has officially expired. His previous contract that just expired, 4 years, $674 million. That is astounding. I had no clue until, maybe the past year that Messi was getting that kind of money. He is making so much money that NBA players on Twitter, right, and professional basketball players that are getting paid like $40, $50 million a year, we're tweeting out like that's insane, right? Like that is mental. And here's the dilemma: is with Barcelona currently in over $1 billion in financial debt, they can't afford Messi's previous wages. So it's a very interesting situation. Messi, obviously the best player in the world, should be paid accordingly. But Barcelona, his club that he loves and has spent his whole... obviously not from the beginning, but like he's been with Barcelona since he was through the academy. That's the club he wants to be with, but they can't really afford to pay him like he deserves necessarily to be paid. It leaves an interesting situation where his future is really uncertain. That said, you had the new club president, Laporta, who has worked with Messi and his father to really repair those relationships since he's came in. And he's done a good job of it. I think he's put Barcelona in the best situation possible to re-sign Messi. But it's what Messi wants to do. He could go to Man City or PSG and get paid insanely. Or he could return to Barcelona, take some less money, but like have that legacy with the club. He'll have the legacy with the club regardless. But, do you know what I mean? Try and finish on Barcelona on a higher place because recently, let's be honest, Barcelona haven't been quite themselves, and I think he'd want to win with a league title or a Champions League with Barcelona. But yeah, it's interesting. It's up in the air right now, I think. But right when we say up in the air, what's hilarious is we seeing all these small clubs tweet at Messi like these contracts. It's quite funny, I must admit. So yeah, let's see what others are saying here. Messi is coming to Rangers, mate. Yusuf. Can you imagine, bro? Messi would score 100 goals in the Scottish Premiership. Messi to United, nah, that's not gonna happen, mate. They can't like even Manchester United. That seems ridiculous for them to even pay that money. Like, I know it's Messi, but nah. Now look at what Messi gets Barca. It's just, it seriously is ridiculous. If Messi went to the MLS, football would explode in the U.S. I mean, it would be insane. I don't think he will go this soon in his career. I think we've got to wait. I think he's got one more 4-year contract in Europe, and I think that'll be that for him. But I think he's got 4 more years, and I mean, he could play longer if he wants, but he doesn't strike me in the same way as Ronaldo, where he's gonna cling on to it for too long. Like, I think he's got 4 years in Europe, and then I think he'll go back to Argentina, perhaps. But we've got to wait and see. I mean, who knows? Considering the level he's playing at right now, like when will the decline hit? It seems like it's hit Ronaldo about. I mean, when we're saying Ronaldo's declined, right? We're talking like he was like a top 2 player in the world, and now he's like a top 10 player in the world. So it depends what the decline is and how soon, but like I think he's got another 4 years at the top level of European football as the best. I think he's got 4 more years as the best player in the world, perhaps. So it's hard to even predict where he'd go, but I think the 3 possible destinations, Barcelona again, Man City, or PSG. What do you guys think? I'd love to get your thoughts down below in the comments. Where will Messi resign? I don't think any business will be done until the Copa America is over, till he's had some time to reflect, but who knows? Maybe, who knows? Is it possible Messi wins it with Argentina, just feels the love and joy of his nation and wants to move back there and go play for like Boca Juniors? I think it would be soon, but who knows? All right. Well, I have to go. Good seeing you guys again. I think Messi's wages are mainly down to ego and getting him to stay. Ability aside, peace. I appreciate you tuning in, Dally20. Great having you. Speaking of your comment here, I think him getting paid, I think he deserves to get paid that much. Like, I mean, when you're the best player in the world, you deserve those kind of wages. Is it sustainable for any club, though? I don't know. I really don't know. I agree with Serena, and I think Messi will take a little bit less money because he'll struggle to find that money anywhere else. And I think he probably will stay, is my guess. But it's tough to say. I mean, him at Man City would be ridiculous. Him at PSG would be ridiculous. Like, I think he'll end up. I think his only option, truly, as much as like he'll explore other ones, I think it'll be Barcelona. So, and he'll get paid well, but just not quite as well as he was being paid previously. All right. What club will sign Aiden next? Any news on your transfer? Mate, no news on my transfer yet. We're in the works, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a couple of years down the road, we'll see something happen. But that's all I'll say for now. Let's see what others are saying. So I think that wraps it up for the Messi. Messi the Juventus, I don't think they can afford that either. Like, you've got a lot of clubs in financial debt and bad. Just the pandemic has affected all clubs. So I think making a move for Messi, even though it's a free transfer, the wages are just too insane, bro. Like, over $100 million a year, bro. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So, guys, really quickly before I move on to our final topic, I'm going to get a quick sip of water. Make sure you guys are staying hydrated as well. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Trying to hit 15 likes on the stream, 2 away from our goal. But yeah, I've got one more topic planned, and then Yusuf we'll open the floor to Q&A. So save that topic. The taxman must love Messi. I think the taxman was frustrated at Messi because he was frauding his taxes, but when he is paying his taxes, I think the taxman does appreciate Messi. That's what I'll say there, Yusuf. I think when Messi's scamming the taxman doesn't like that. But when Messi's actually paying the taxes correctly, taxman probably does like him quite a bit. But moving to our final topic before I open up to Q&A. Billy Gilmore. You guys know, probably him, Bruno Fernandes, 2 of my favorite players in football. Billy Gilmore has joined Norwich City on a loan deal. Norwich will be playing in the Premier League next season, and this is an exciting move for Gilmore. Because Gilmore last season at Chelsea, we seen when he played, he showed quality. We seen in the Euros, he showed quality. I think he's underrated still by many. But he will get the opportunity now to week in, week out, get match time, play at a high level. Exactly, Stu. Exactly. Billy Gilmore doesn't ghost in big games, my guy. Gilmore shows up in big games. He's a special player, bro. I'm telling you. This guy is so underrated. People just haven't gotten enough opportunity to see him play. But every time he's played, bro, think about back to the Liverpool match, right? Think back to the Man City match this season. Think to Scotland, England. Like, bro, this guy shows up in the big games, takes care of the ball. He's phenomenal. He seriously is phenomenal. Now he's going to get the opportunity to play at the Premier League level week in and week out, be a key player for Norwich, and then come back the following season and then I think get opportunities with Chelsea. I really do think Billy Gilmore is special. I think this is a great move for his career. Again, getting the opportunity to play week in and week out at a young age is so important. So the fact that he's going to be able to get these opportunities is great for him. Last year, I think they should have, realistically, Gilmore should have gone on loan in January. It just didn't work out because Tuchel had just come in. But Stu says should have picked a better level than Norwich. You know what, Stu? I think the fact that, right, he's going to get pretty much, I think, guaranteed playing time if he's fit. That's the important thing there. So, I don't know, mate. I mean, I kind of thought, the similar thing in some regards. Like, I thought a good fit for Gilmore would have been, personally, if I had been Gilmore's agent and I got to choose out his career path. Obviously, that's not how it works. But just say got to decide all the football transfers and whatnot. Gilmore, for me, I would have sent him on loan to Brighton. I think Brighton would have been the perfect fit with the style of football they play. It complements his game really well and what they do at Chelsea. But I like the fit. I like the fit of Norwich as well. I believe it's still Fark there as a manager. I think it's a good fit. I think his career will really take off in the next couple of years. We'll see him play. If I'm Billy Gilmore, the goals I'm setting, right, would be like, can I be Norwich's player of the year? Do you know what I mean? Can I be the best player for Norwich City? Can I help them stay up? I want to see him week in and week out really excel. And what excited me about seeing him play for Scotland was he wasn't another average player. He stepped up and shined, and that's what makes the difference between a good player is a good player can fit into a good side, but when he's playing against other good players, he doesn't shine. Gilmore shines when he's surrounded by other players that are just kind of average. So hopefully we can see that from him. And he's going to be, I think he's got to turn 20 very soon. So these next couple of years are very important. But I think long term he's going to be a phenomenal player for Chelsea Football Club and Scotland. Let's see. Wouldn't mind him to do a loan at Rangers under Steven Gerrard. That's an interesting one as well. Rangers was one of his boyhood clubs, Yusuf. But I think the Premier League level, I'm being honest, you guys know I have a lot of respect for Scottish football, of course, as a Scotland fan, as someone who follows the Scottish Premiership a little bit. But to be honest, I think level-wise, week in and week out, it's important for him to play at that top Premier League level, and that's just the only way he's going to really progress to the player that reach the potential that he can, in my opinion, which is one of the best I think he can be one of the best midfielders of his generation. And that's the level I'm kind of holding him to, and I think making sure he's getting opportunities at the top level week in, week out is extremely important. It's just really unfortunate with regards to, I think he could play at a lot of the top big six clubs in the Premier League, but Chelsea's midfield is just so good, right? You've got the likes of Mount, you've got the likes of Kovacic, you've got the likes of Jorginho, right? There's so much, and N'Golo Kanté I didn't even mention, bro. That, the quality is so high that it's difficult for him, but I think he will be. I think Tuchel was impressed by him, and I think he will be in Tuchel's hands. Plans moving forward. Mcginn and McGregor were not average versus England, mate. The only two average midfielders were Rice and Phillips that evening. No, I'm not talking about. Let me be clear, mate. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about John McGinn, mate. I know McGinn is quality. Don't get it twisted, bro. John McGinn was phenomenal. In my opinion, John McGinn should have been man of the match ahead of Gilmore. I'll be real with you against England. I think McGinn should have been man of the match over Gilmore. Don't get it twisted, bro. But I'm talking about we've seen Stu when McTominay went into the midfield when McTominay went in the midfield for Scotland, bro, he was not good. He just looked like another average player, as opposed to Gilmore, who really stepped up and played at the level near McGinn, or you know what I mean. So yeah, okay, he said got that. Got you. That cool. Okay, cool. We're on the same page, dude. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm just excited to see where Billy Gilmore goes. I'm going to be on the Billy Gilmore bandwagon, and I'm going to be following him around throughout his career. I'm watching that. You know what that means, guys? I'm watching a lot more Norwich City games this season. I'm just going to be so excited to watch him week in and week out because it just sucks, watching Chelsea, turning on Chelsea match, and oh, I'm ready for Gilmore. Doesn't play. So he is average, though. That's why poor Pogba is shackled by him. I do. Stu, I really think McTominay should try and transition to the center back position permanently. He serves a purpose at United with regards to being a destroying midfielder, like destroying in terms of winning the ball back, physical, roughing up the best attacking player. But like, I just don't think I agree. Kind of, I think he's looked better than he necessarily is because he's been playing against some really great quality. Gilmore from the best town in Scotland, of course. Yes, I believe it's Glasgow, right, Yusuf? And that's where you're from as well, mate. So yeah, shout out Billy Gilmore. Much love to him, guys. We have been streaming for over an hour now. We've tackled all the topics I have planned. Let's move into a bit of Q&A. If you guys have any topics, questions, concerns about the football world, just want to debate something, let me know down below in the live chat. I'm open to it. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed these. I love doing these live podcasts. It's a good balance between me getting to talk about stuff I want to talk about that I've planned and also getting to interact with the chat. It's like a balance. I'm not just reading the chat, and I'm not just talking at you. It's a conversation, which is what I love about it. So, guys, even though these don't necessarily do big views or anything like that, this is something I'm just going to do. My goal is to rack up a couple hundred episodes. And these are easy to do. Just sit down, record for an hour. So, okay. Rafa Benitez to Everton, says Yusuf. And guys, if you're just tuning in, Stu, others, smash the like button. We're aiming for 15 likes on the stream. Subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. We're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers ASAP. And yeah, I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much for it. Rafa Benitez to Everton. Interesting one. So here's the thing which is very interesting about this. I was listening to the Kickoff True Geordie's live show, which I love. Also, really quickly, sorry guys. One more thing. When I get back to Boston, hopefully, with COVID now, me being vaccinated, Bo being vaccinated, he'll be able to come into my dorm room and we'll be able to record these, like some of these together. Not all of them, of course, but like my goal is to have him on as a guest and we'll just debate some of these topics in front of you guys, with you guys. I think that would be so fun. So just expect that in the future. But Rafa Benitez to Everton. Okay. It's interesting. Rafa Benitez, of course, a manager with Liverpool, won the Champions League with Liverpool, really like embodied Liverpool for a while. I think the fans took to him very well and he took to the city very well. His family still live in Liverpool. It's kind of a weird thing for him to then go to Everton. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's a derby, rivals. I don't know. I think it's rubbing some Liverpool fans the wrong way. I think it would be a great signing for Everton. I think he's a manager that's shown he can get the most out of a team. So I think it would be a great signing from the Everton perspective. It's just like, do Everton fans take to him because of his past history with Liverpool? That's my question. Is his leash kind of cut short because of his past history at Liverpool? Right? If they start slowly, how do Everton fans react to that? Like, it's tough being a manager going into a situation where you're already not that beloved. Does that make sense? So I think it's interesting, but overall in terms of managerial experience, quality, I mean, it would be great. It's just these other aspects we got to think of. Opinions on Bayern only having 18 players and they need at least 23. Sandro, it's an interesting dilemma to be in. Here's the thing with Bayern Munich is they do smart business, right? They're not going to go spend a ton of money on a single player, but they will find players. But I do think depth is an issue for Bayern, right? We saw Bayern's side, depleted by injury in the Champions League last season, so it is important that they find the right balance. They don't have to go sign out. I think Bayern's quality is already there. They don't have to go out there and sign the best players in the world, but they do need some quality backup players. Do you know what I mean? Quality second team players. It's tough. I don't know. Sandro, who do you have in mind? Like, give me 5 players you think could fill it within a reasonable budget. Like, but for me personally, I know Choupo-Moting did all right for them, but he can't be your second option as a striker. Like, that's not. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be rude, but I don't think he's at the level to be a second striker for Bayern Munich. Like, the drop off from Lewandowski to him is too far. You need somewhere in between that. Is just how I think about it. So yeah. Moving forward. Football Day says, Aiden, will you shave your hair when Liverpool win the league? Well, mate, Liverpool aren't winning the league anytime soon, so I don't think I need to worry about that. Do you think Ancelotti can succeed at Madrid, and do you think Zidane will manage the French national team? Interesting, Yusuf. Interesting. I think Ancelotti, it's tough because Real Madrid are kind of in a transitional phase. It isn't like he's coming into the Real Madrid squad that he had previously managed. I think he probably will do fine there long term, right? I think he'll do well probably, is my guess. He'll be given some time. But I don't know if he can, bring back the past 10 years of success Real Madrid have had where they won 3 Champions League and whatnot. I don't think he can bring that back, but I think he'll do a decent job. As regard to Zidane, the French national team, it's an interesting shout. I think he's the manager that the players would respect enough to kind of put their egos aside, if that makes sense. Like, he is like a legend in France. I mean, obviously in the football world in general, but like especially in France. I mean, he's the player all these guys looked up to. So I think he would command their respect in the locker room. So I think it's actually a good shout. I think it's a good shout, Yusuf. I like that idea. Let's see what others are saying there. Sandro. I like your signings there for Bayern Munich. The Perisic one, I think they should buy him. He's a good player. He's playing well for Croatia as well. I like the idea of going after some of the younger players as well. As for the loan with Pulisic, I don't think that would happen. Hudson-Odoi, though, could happen, and I think that would be Actually, no, I don't think Hudson-Odoi would happen. I don't think either of those are realistic, unfortunately, because... But I know you're just saying who you want. But I think, a loan for a talented player that's maybe not getting the opportunity at a big club is really a good shout. So I like it. I think I like targeting the young players and then adding some maybe a high-profile player on a loan and then buying Perisic. I think that's a good plan. I think that's the moves you need. Some savvy moves, bring in some youngsters, a high-profile loan, and buying Perisic. I think that's perfect. IDK, Bayern just need a winger. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So we'll have to wait and see who that player is, but I'm sure Bayern will do some good business there. All right, any other questions, topics, comments, concerns? If not, I can kind of talk about maybe the schedule or what I have planned for the future, but because Gnabry, Sané, and Coleman can get injured so easily. Yes, depth is important, and especially when you're... So depth is important just generally, but when you're competing for the Champions League each year, it is even more important. Right? I think the teams that went deepest in the Champions League this year were the healthiest teams. You had Chelsea, who didn't... I mean, they had injuries, but not the same way that Bayern or PSG did. And you had Man City, another team that has a lot of depth and good health. So, Trennan says, I'll give you Sterling. Mate, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy. The way Sterling's performing is phenomenal. I got to give so much credit to Sterling. The fact that he, didn't play that well for Man City, didn't get much opportunity, then comes in the Euros and does what he's done, it's phenomenal. And just the story, right? Obviously, Sterling's from Brent in London. It's close by to Wembley. He said, I've heard, stories that he's told, when I was younger, BMX biking around Wembley, going to go play, football with my friends. And the fact that now he's scoring all those goals in the stadium for England at the biggest stage, despite being, targeted by the media and having fans on him at the beginning of the tournament because he was starting when they felt like he shouldn't. Shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him. Really, really got to tip my hat off to him, bro. Yusuf says, when season starts, I'm going to write to clubs in the Premier League and see if I can get any autographs from players as at the clubs, as I know the clubs do it. Yeah, no, that does happen, Yusuf, and that's something you should consider doing. I did that when I was younger for my brother's birthday. He's into skiing and ski racing, and I actually I reached out to Ted Ligety, who used to be one of the best ski racers in the world. I wrote him a letter, and he got back, and he sent me back 2 autographed photos, which was phenomenal. I was very grateful. So yeah, if you write a good letter, that's very. I think you just got to be. I think I'm lagging here, guys. How's the connection going for you guys? Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna ask in the chat. Let's see. Am I lagging, perhaps? Let me take a look here on my phone. Oh, am I lagging still? How's it going? Yeah, I am lagging. Okay. Let me see. Give me 1 minute here. Oh, man. I don't know why I'm lagging. Yikes. I don't know what's going on my Wi-Fi, but it is not working. I think it's working better now, perhaps. I don't know why I've started to lag. No. But yeah, no, Yusuf, I think if you reach out, you're polite, and you write a good letter, I think they would be happy to send back to you. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, I think we should be streaming smooth now. Take a look. Is it better now, guys? Is it better? Let me know down below in the live chat if it's better. If not, I may start to try and wrap it up. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know why it's done that. I don't know. I'm at home right now. At college, the Wi-Fi is better. At home, sometimes other people, especially on the weekends, are using the Wi-Fi, so I don't know if it's going to be working. I think we're running better now. It's skipping through some stuff, but it should be cleared up now. I appreciate you guys being patient. Let me read through the chat real quick. Okay, perfect. That's all that matters. I think it looks good on my screen again. Good to see. Had some technical difficulties at home. Lightning struck again for those of you that were there for that. Shout out. But yeah, no, it should be smooth for you guys now. So, perfect. All right, moving forward here. Aiden, I just want to go to the stadium again. I miss it so much. Yo. Oh, Yusuf, I'll repeat it. Yeah, real quick, and then I'll go to Sandro's. Could you repeat your answer again? Yeah, Yusuf, I would totally reach out to them. You know, I for my brother's birthday a while back when I was younger, he's a fan of ski racing, so I wrote a letter to a ski racer, Ted Ligety, very famous U.S. ski racer, asking for an autograph for my brother's birthday, and he got back to me, and yeah, it was signed. So it was really special. I was able to get that to my brother. So I think if you write, you know, a nice, authentic, you know, very like polite letter, I think they will get back to you. So yeah, I would definitely go for it. Aiden, I just want to go to the stadium again. I miss it so much. Sandra, I have a story to tell you guys. So obviously in the U.S., you know, the closest football team for me, or the closest football team for me that's like in the MLS is the San Jose Earthquakes. They're roughly an hour, 30 minutes away. I've never really taken to them very much. Like, I've always been more interested in the Premier League. There's a new team starting up called the Oakland Roots that I'm definitely more invested in. I watch some of their matches on TV. I've yet to go to one because of the pandemic and whatnot, but I'm probably going to go to one this season. But there's the Oakland A's, which are a baseball team. And I know you guys don't care about baseball, but I was able to go to the game for fireworks night on Friday. The stadium, 35,000 people. Bro, the atmosphere was like, it was so cool being back in a stadium around everyone and just the atmosphere and everyone cheering and all that. Like, it was special, bro. It was really special. So I totally know what you mean, Sandro. When you get back, bro, you're gonna love it. It felt like it was like a huge game when it was just a normal. You know what I mean? It was a special occasion. It was truly one of the coolest things I've been a part of. Sandra said, "Don't forget our deal. When you hit 50K on YouTube, you can come with me to the stadium." Hey, it's going to happen, Sandra. We got to be patient, but it will happen eventually. I think the United channel, trust me, this next season it will really take off. I just got to be a little more consistent. But yes, we'll be on it. You doing anything for 4th of July? Not really, mate. This live stream, maybe go play some pickup, some footy. Apart from that, not really. Start working on some new content for you guys, some new videos. So that's on the way. Just kind of getting ready. I got work tomorrow, so just kind of staying low-key. But yeah, Aiden, top 3 disappointments at the Euros. Players. Honestly, mate, I've got to be real with you. I don't think I've watched enough games to truly say. Like, I don't think I've watched. You know, I've watched some of a good amount of matches, but not enough to really say who's been super disappointing. And also, I just don't want to bring that kind of negative energy. But football days, I'd love to hear your top 3 disappointing players at the Euros, or maybe talking about teams. I think the teams would be probably the group of death, right? The group of disappointment is what I would call them. group of death in my opinion. One thing I have been disappointed about is this. Jack Grealish not getting more opportunities with England. I know he's being used as a super sub, but every time he comes on, bro, he just brings this special level. And that's a player that obviously, of course, Serenin and Man City apparently are looking at. I don't think that will happen. I would be very surprised if Manchester City get Jack Grealish. But, I mean, that guy is such a good player. In terms of final third and quality, I've been so impressed by him. Sandro said he's heading out. Have a nice day, Aiden. Sandro, I appreciate it, mate. Great being back on here. Who knows? I may be able to do a live stream during the week if there's enough time available. So y'all keep posted on that in the Discord. Sandro, great talking to you, mate. I hope you have a phenomenal, I guess, afternoon or night now for you. But yeah, take it easy, bro. Grealish looks so English. I know he is, but still. Yeah, I guess he's like, if you think of a stereotypical English bloke, it's Jack Grealish, right? Serenin, he's coming home. Grealish is coming home. My top three would be Yemez, Bruno, and Mbappe, says Football Days. Interesting Football Days. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate you sharing your list of disappointments at the Euros. Serenin says, don't know about Mbappe. Thoughts on Santo to United? Very excited, Yusuf. I think it was the signing that we needed. But still, we've got work to do. I think Sancho, remember my list at the beginning of the summer. We've got Sancho, Veron, and Rice, or, Ndidi, or why am I blanking? Basuma, right? So we need a winger, which we got now in Sancho, a quality center back, which we need in Veron, and then a CDM. So those are the three for me. Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. So still work to do, and I'll be talking about that in my upcoming United videos, Yusuf. So you stay posted on those. I'm excited for it. The Wonder Kids video did really well. I think 17K views now. So shout out to y'all for really being supportive. Do you guys like these live podcasts? I really enjoy them. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with it. I think this content, though, I think it's really good balance. And it's a great way for me to interact with you guys. And will you get the golden boot next season for your team? Mate, unfortunately, I play right back or like as a deeper midfielder. So I wish, but probably not, if I'm being honest. But who knows? Maybe I'll have to just put myself up top. I'm just kidding, by the way. But, I'm excited for my games. I'm supposed to have a collegiate season in the NCAA this fall. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's been over a year and a half since it's been over a year and a half since I've played an 11-a-side game, which is crazy considering like I've been doing that forever now. So I'm super excited. I've been training a lot. I've been getting in the gym. I've been recovering from my ankle surgery, so I'm going to be ready to go. Just ran a fitness test. So I'm getting ready to go, man. I'm getting ready to go. I'm buzzing. Going to the gym 3 times a week, training 5 times a week. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Serenin says, just call up your coach at halftime and tell him to play you up front. Yeah, I'll make sure to do that. Serenin, how about you do it, mate? I'll just give you his number. You ring him up. Hey, put the man down up front, bro. For Aiden, will there be a new fantasy league? Of course, mate. Of course, Football Days, there will be a new fantasy league. It's going to be extremely exciting. I'm looking forward to it. This year, I'm going to actually stick with it, okay? I promise. I will stick with it. I got a little distracted. I fell apart when I went home for winter break, and I had to do that winter class because I'm trying to graduate early. So I just need to make sure I'm on top of it. But yes, we will do another fantasy league. I'll start it up closer to when the season begins because obviously, right, I'll start up closer to when the season begins because there's going to be a lot of transfers. I don't feel like there's a need to set it up now, but I'll set it up a couple weeks in advance. And yeah, Football Day says, I want to beat Bell. Yeah, he has the title right now. I love the new Discord thing that I added, or it's not new anymore, but that I added in a little while ago with like all the rules and stuff. I feel like that's super fun and entertaining. Let's take a look here. And guys, if you're not in the Discord, the link is in the description below, so feel free to join us. I think it's just all of you guys that are in the Discord here. But yeah, the rules, we have United's faithful, FPL champion, Bundesliga correspondent, Ajax's finest, and the Salty City fans. My guy Oliver is here. Shout out Oliver. Big up my guy for tuning in. Guys, also real quick, I got something to show you guys real quick. Down below in the live chat, I'm going to put something that I would love you guys to check out before I go, or after I go, which would be my friend Oliver's new song, Cirque du Soleil. He's doing his thing, still putting out his music. So it would be great if you guys, if you guys want to go support him, show him some love. Oh my gosh. Let me get this up here. I haven't been watching much YouTube recently because I've been doing my school stuff, but I was just looking at my homepage and one of Bo's videos popped up, and it was how let me see. Here's the link, guys. Here's the link. Go check out Oliver's new song, guys. It's on Spotify as well if you enjoy it, so make sure you add it on there. We'll pin it. Go show him some love, guys. He's doing his thing. He's improved so much. It's insane. So seriously, go check him out. But yeah, Bo, it just popped up on my home screen, or on my recommendations. It's how Arsenal should spend their £250 million budget. I gotta watch it. That's gotta be clickbait. There's no way they have a £250 million budget. I know these clubs want to spend after the whole Super League debacle, and they want to try and earn fan trust back, but that's just not happening, mate. That's some clickbait there. He's got. Let's see here. He's got Madison, I think, Awar, and then Sterling all in the thumbnail. No, I'm not having that, mate. I'm not having that. I'm gonna have to give him a hard time on that one. Yeah, we all do it though. We all do it, but I mean, maybe I haven't read about Arsenal, so maybe I'm wrong, but that can't be right. But yeah, any other questions, guys, before I go? We've been going for an hour, 30 minutes. I'm probably about to wrap it up now. I've been waffling probably for the last 15, 20 minutes. Like I said, though, go check out Oliver's new song, guys. It's fire. Go show my guys some love. Oliver, if you're still here, I do take issue with one bar. There was one bar, I can't lie. I did cringe a little. I think it was I make the colors do cartwheels. I don't know. That one didn't quite hit for me. Apart from that, though, the song was really good. I actually have been listening to it. So yeah, keep it up, bro. I'm loving it. And you're killing it on Spotify too right now. You're killing it on Spotify as well. Any tips on how I can make a comeback as I have hung up my boots? Bro, just go play as much as possible. That's the biggest thing. It's all about, getting out there and having fun and enjoying it. And it doesn't have to necessarily be for me, it's just, I love to go play. To be honest with you, if I had the choice between, watching a match and going to play in a match, I'd much rather play in a match. I love playing, so it's just getting out there, going to play pickup consistently. There's people play all the time, just going in, joining in, text your friends, let's go play, right? That's my biggest thing, Yusuf. It's just get out there as much as possible. And it's good for you too, right? And it's good for you too. And yes, when you are playing, when you're exerting yourself, when you're exercising, it is so important to stay hydrated. So make sure you guys are staying hydrated as well. I really make the colors do cartwheels. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. But yeah, guys, go check it out. Just go check out his music, man. He's killing it over this month. 1,147 monthly listeners. And he's hit it back to back with Santa Monica, Cirque du Soleil, doing big things out there, doing big things. So, any tips on how I can make a comeback? I already read that one from Yusuf. At Football Days, I meant to read yours. Will there be a Liverpool role in the Discord? Maybe, perhaps. I don't even know if I want to acknowledge Liverpool fans. No, I'm just kidding. But maybe we will have to do something. I'll have to come up with something that's catchy and fun, but also gotta let my disgust for Liverpool Football Club. So yeah, we gotta balance it out there. But I love the roles in the Discord. We'll keep on doing it. The Discord's phenomenal. I think even during my break, it was a way that we were still able to connect. So I've been very happy about that. I'm thinking. Let me know real quick, guys, before I go. I'm thinking about kind of rebranding my setup a little bit with regards to. What do you guys think about this? I'm just curious. It's just a thought. Because I think I'm only going to be uploading these kind of live streams on here. Do I make this channel called Fergie's Football Focus and then make the United channel called the Fergie Time Podcast? Just a thought. Let me know down below in the live chat. Or do you like the way it is now? Because I don't know for sure, but I feel like this is probably the only content I'll be uploading on here. The potential for this channel, though, if I have time, which unfortunately I really never do, would be to take clips from these live streams and then upload them to YouTube as videos. That would be the ideal scenario. So if you guys did miss the live stream, there's a clip, a 10 or a 5-minute clip of maybe some of the more interesting topics that we were talking about. Just a thought. People do it with Twitch all the time. But yeah, y'all let me know down below in the live chat what your thoughts are. I'm trying to think. I need to kind of switch channel and make this your United channel maybe because it's a bigger channel. But I already have a base of United content there and already a United fan base growing on that channel. So for me, thinking about it this way, right? Thinking about it this way is like the strategy would be, Sandra likes that idea. He says, yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, I think that would work well. Because honestly, it's not about subscribers. It's more about consistent viewership. And I think I was starting to build that over there. Yeah, do the clips, then take smaller clips, the best bits, and throw them on TikTok and such. Yeah, I'm really starting to think about, because I just took a class, online content design and strategy, and it really got me thinking about how can I be smarter about how I'm moving, but also doing it in a time-efficient way. Because I think my issue with YouTube so far has been I set really lofty goals, which is good, but I also set too much, like I expect to upload and do too much, and I just can't with everything I got going on. So it's like setting a really consistent schedule that I can hit at the same time. So it's also just stuff changed because I'm moving back and forth. Anyways, excuses, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be strategizing, expect some new content coming, and I think this is about the perfect time to wrap it up. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in. You need to be consistent. No, 100%. And I will be consistent now. It was just that class was just, and I've been working, mate. It's been crazy lately. It's been crazy. But yeah, I'm happy to be back. It's good to be back. I enjoyed doing this stuff so much. It's genuinely one of my favorite things to do. So I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the live stream thus far, smash the like button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And yeah, we will be back at some point within the next week. I'll have a consistent schedule for you guys out shortly. Until then, take it easy. Stay safe, everyone. And yeah, I forgot how to wrap it up. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.